Hey guys, Third and Still Gaming here with yet another video. On today's video, we're going to talk about Hogwarts Legacy combat system. I was really worried about the combat system going into Hogwarts Legacy. Ever since we saw the very first trailers of this game, I was like, well, how is the combat going to work? And they showed stuff, but I didn't really know the meat and potatoes, as I would say, of what this game combat is going to be. And in this episode, we're going to go over exactly everything they said during the actual event. Now, they showed us the actual spells that you could use. They did say that there's up to 16 spells that you can hold on your character, and there's more than 16 spells. There's well over, I think, 20 spells. I don't know if there's more than 20 spells, but there's 20 spells, meaning you're going to have to pick and choose of the 20, only 16 of the spells to hold inside of your character. Now, as you're playing, it looked pretty fluent, and it was exactly what I thought it was going to be, but now that we actually have to see it, it actually makes me feel a lot more comfortable that the gameplay and the combat is pretty good, it looks like. It seems pretty fast-paced, it seems very simplistic, but at the same time complicated based on whatever level you play. Obviously, the harder difficulty level, the more you're going to have to switch between your presets and whatnot. And the way you do the presets, they said, that you have a couple of different marks. You have, as you can tell in the bottom corner, you have 4 spells, and then right in the middle, if you have R2. They are playing on the PlayStation 5, so if you hit R2, you'll just do this little straight-up default hit. And then if you want to do your actual move, you would have to hit the triangle, circle, X, or square. And then in between, as you can see at the top of the screen, so you do your main spell first, then you hit 4 times by just tapping R2. But if you hold R2, then it brings up the rest of the radial wheel, I guess you could say, and you can pick what spell you want to use. Now, each spell is color-coded. I don't know if there's more than 4 colors. It does look like from other parts of the trailer at the very end of the event, they showed like 2 reds, a yellow, and a purple inside the actual wheel here, or the diamond on the bottom right-hand corner. In this one, particularly, we have the blue, we have a yellow, red, and purple, and we'll talk about that in just a second when we talk about the other combat that they showed. So overall, the combat seems pretty fluent, and you're going to be able to put spells together pretty fast. Now, the momentum of, or the movement of your character where he's it's like a combo. It's almost like in Street Fighter or even in Gotham Knights that just came out recently, if you've watched any footage that I've played there. When you're doing the combat, yeah, you're just smashing the X button, okay? So just imagine this, right? If you're playing Gotham Knights, you're just hitting the X button, or in this case, the R2 button, and you're just going to be hitting, and then when you cast another spell, a major spell, you're going to be doing a particular move or a bigger wave of your arm. Right? So you connect the combos together. Now, as you go through the game, I'm assuming that you're going to be a little bit more powerful, be able to learn spells more. There's another thing at the bottom of the screen that they didn't go into. If you hit right on the D-pad, you're going to be able to go to your next 4 spells. But if you hit left on the D-pad, there's this other, other symbol that I think is going to be your special ability, or your ability that you can't use all the time. You have to build up the meter on it, which makes sense, right? So as they go into this combat here, we'll see a little bit more as he faces 3 opponents. So in the video here, in this footage, you see you're going up against 3 other students. Now, obviously, you're not going to be doing any kind of death spells on them or whatnot. This is just a tutorial, and you can see the tutorial little breakdown of what you can do with your spells and whatnot. I'm going to let the devs explain for a second here.
So you notice that there are different colored kind of shields around the different characters, and you also notice that your spells have different colors on them. So to help players understand kind of like the function of their spells, we're trying to put them into brackets. So there are damage spells, there are force spells, there are, I'm forgetting the other one, all this, control spells. And so those things for the player, they wind up also being a color indicator for which actual spell to use to break the different shields that enemies can use. That way it rewards kind of like that close attention that you're paying on things.
We've got this.
Now, one of the things I think is cool is that they have shields around them, right? And you see 2 purples and a yellow, and obviously to break that person's shield, you're going to have to use your purple spell, okay? And then if you want to break the yellow sphere, you're going to have to use your yellow spell. And what I like about this is that you're constantly not just spamming the same exact thing. Now, I wonder if the NPCs, I didn't really look too into it, if they change, or if once they're purple, they're always purple, or do they change from yellow to purple to red and make you switch up? Not really too sure. Now, this next part, I'm just going to let the devs talk about it first, and then we'll come back to it right after.
We've got this paused here now, and you can kind of see all the elements on the screen, the halo around the avatar's head, each of the different shields, to kind of give us a breakdown of what's going on.
Give us a breakdown of different things that you're saying. So you notice at the top that we're kind of like calling out which enemy you currently have targeted and their level and health. And so, as you target different characters, you'll be able to get that breakdown. The halo over your head, whenever an enemy is about to an attack, it's almost like you have a little bit of a sixth sense for those things that are coming. If you see the halo, it means there's an incoming attack, and if you tap the triangle button by default, then you will be able to deflect that attack that comes in and off with the protagonist.
And I love that deflect where it goes off and like hits things up and kind of breaks things off walls too.
But also, if you hold the button, then it doesn't just deflect. It also deflects and turns around with a counter attack stupefy that actually stuns the enemy. And you can use that even in your combos and stuff. So if you're focused on a character, and you're doing your thing, and someone else attacks you, you can actually turn that attack into a direct attack on the person that you're comboing.
Now, you can see the ring around their head there, or the ring around your head, the little halo around there. As it gets smaller, right now it looks like a donut, and as it gets smaller, it'll shrink down and become a thinner donut, a thinner ring around your head. As that happens, that's when they're actually going to be attacking you. So if you played the Arkham series back in the day, or Spider-Man, or any other type of fighting game, this is like, the developers even said it's like a sixth sense, or like a spidey sense, basically, that you're going to be knowing when the incoming attacks are happening. So when you're fighting somebody, all of a sudden that pops around your head, you can dodge or you can ricochet. So they said if you hit triangle, you'll do a little parry or deflection, and once you do the deflection, it'll pop off and go and hit. And they said, one of the creators, or one of the developers, the community manager, I forget which one it was, said that it would ricochet off the walls and whatnot and do damage. And I think that's pretty cool, right? So they could do the exact same thing, as you can tell. As he's attacking, he's throwing barrels at him. You have other objects to do. He's doing multiple attacks. He's deflecting. He's pulling. He's pushing. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So overall, I think the combat system is pretty well, and I'm actually pretty excited about this combat system, and I'm looking for more combat as we get a little closer. Hopefully it'll show a little bit more, maybe harder enemies, bigger bosses or something, but maybe just a little glimpse of like a boss fight or whatnot. I think that'd be really cool. Or maybe just go through one of the little dungeons to show us a little bit of gameplay there. Overall, let me know what you think about this combat system. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.